And a big challenge as it's going to be because the Tigers are on that quest for a three-peat. You can't beat the vibes here, Keegan. The weather's great. We got a crisp breeze. And, of course, we got both teams behind us ready to rock. So we'll have, as always, our highlights coming up at 10. Live in Stratford, Austin Schindler, News 9 Sports. So with so many talented throwers on the national stage, you just got to wonder, what gives them the edge? Well, Keegan, the Old River Jug is as important as any rivalry trophy in central Wisconsin, dating back to 1947. And over the years, it always seems like there's some sort of chaos that happens between Spash and Rapids. And today, well, was right up to par. This is going to be an exciting one. Can Colby continue their dominance, or are we really going to see kind of a shootout Mahomes, Josh Allen type game that's going to go down to the wire? Well, Coach Sins tells me after 3 interceptions from Keegan straight last year, if they manage their turnovers, they should be able to get the job done tonight. When you're facing an opponent with a rapport such as the Chiefs, you have to bring your best even if they don't have their best. As well as Green Bay's QB1 will need to keep building on his hot stretch as well. Because the way Jordan Love has handled himself through these last few games, this should make for a good test in his young tenure as starting QB. But the elephant in the room is obviously, like this guy's saying, the Chiefs' offense. In a conference clincher, Gilman takes a gut-wrenching loss off that Dominic Sherwood interception. A great season for them. We'll see what lies ahead for their playoff hopes. But Owen Withy, I mean, to grit it out like that and on the fumble at the 1-yard line, being able to chase down the defender and avoid that touchdown, that says all you need to hear about this Owen Withy team. They got the job done tonight, and now it's on to playoffs. Can't wait for it, Keegan. What a finale to the regular season.
We'll welcome in News 9 Sports' Austin Schindler, who's been following the Stratford Tigers for us all afternoon. Austin, that's one we're not going to soon forget.
No, absolutely not forget, Keegan. It really felt like every yard, every inch needed to be earned in this one. We had 2 stout defenses. They only gave up a touchdown apiece. So with a minute left, we were thinking Stratford may pull this off. Then we think, well, this thing's going to overtime. Back to Stratford has a chance again. And the state title, the Division 6 state title, came down to a guy who's as new to the sport of American football as it gets.
Austin, I can't tell you if I remember this much excitement or this many Go Pack goes at a training camp these last few years.
Especially compared to last year when we had all the questions about who's even going to be the franchise and starting QB for the future. But we had over 4,000 fans show out today at Lambeau. Mark Murphy mentioning that is one of the highest attendances he's ever seen. Both Stratford and Amherst were addicted to scoring in that first half, as we had 0 punts in those first 2 quarters, but only one team could come out with their prey. State tournament finalist, co-champion in your first year as head coach, Final Four appearance, and WNBA champion. How are you feeling?
Not too bad for a first year.
When you talk about life coming full circle, there may not be a better example than Stevens Point girls head coach Janel McCarville.
Me and my mom found a hoop at a garage sale, bought it for $1, went home, me and Pa put it on the side of the barn, and you know, the next thing I know, I'm in love with putting the ball in the hole, and it just became something.
Although under the radar, impressed then head coach Craig Terpstra as a sophomore, and then catching News 9's attention.
Oh my heavens.
She's a coach's dream.
Oh my heavens. I didn't know there was game footage.
She's tall and strong.
Oh my God. You can burn this footage now.
What set her apart being what she calls a point post. Where did you get your ability to pass from?
I don't think I came in saying I got to score for this team. I just tried to get in where I could fit in, and you know, passing led to getting people open. The more I passed, the less a double came, so then that left me one-on-one, and you know, if you leave me one-on-one, it's trouble at that point.
McCarville took the Panthers all the way to the state final and losing by just 7. Moving on to the University of Minnesota to form a special bond with a teammate and future Hall of Famer, Lindsay Whalen. Third year is when you guys go off, all the way to the Final Four as a 7th seed. So kind of just tell me about that season as a whole. What really clicked, especially once that tournament started?
Well, after you throw up this brick, I'll tell you.
Time.
It was a combination of 3 years being together. Again, we had the squad together for quite some time, so the cohesion was there. And maybe we're a little slighted by the 7th seed, thinking we were better than that. We had the first two games at home. And in our minds, it did not matter who we were playing. They were coming into Williams Arena, and they were walking out with a loss. It was that simple.
The Golden Gophers made it to their first ever Final Four in 2004, falling to Diana Taurasi's UConn Huskies. McCarville then entering the WNBA draft in 2005.
Janel McCarville from the University of Minnesota.
But that didn't guarantee a mansion. Many WNBA players, even today, choose to play abroad for a better paycheck.
I was the #1 pick, and I made $44,000 for 4 years. And like I said, the money aspect of it was a lot bigger. WNBA was, like I said, $44,000. As the #1 pick, you can go overseas and you dictate your contract.
Then in 2013, McCarville headed back to the state of Minnesota to play with a best friend.
Easy decision for me to make to go to get traded to go to Minnesota.
Big.
Took the championship. It was everything you wanted it to be. And, I mean, everybody's like, we got to get back to work.
After finishing her professional career in Sweden, McCarville knew it was time to come home. But she kept that same energy she brought to the floor.
I don't know if I took it down a notch. I try to hold the girls to a high accountability,
That's what wins games.
It is, and again, it's basketball, but it's more than basketball.
Everyone here, not only for just the school, but the whole community, they're happy you're back. They're glad that you're back where it all started.
Awesome. I'm glad you got to come out.
Can I hit the three?
I don't know.
Money.
Glad he finally made a shot. Thanks, Austin.
Marathon Wrestling is Marywood's conference champions for the first time in 60 years.
This year it wasn't like, it wasn't a surprise that we win it, because I know what we're capable of.
But that certainly hasn't been the case historically for the Red Raiders. Building the foundation from the ground up, literally from the elementary school's cafeteria.
We had a lot of years of, 7 to 9 kids. Maybe we'd start with 10 and we'd end up with 6.
So it wasn't the quality of wrestlers that was missing, it was the quantity. The program took a 20-year hiatus before returning in 2007, and they weren't able to field a full varsity team until 2022.
We really couldn't compete as a team, but now, the last couple of years, that focus has changed. Now we're scoreboard watching all the time. Like, guys, we know when we step on the mat, we're in every duel.
That was the vision of the Underwood system when he first took over in 2016, and it's hard to deny it. Underwood was a 4-time state champion at Athens High School under the legendary Jerry Buddha Wagner. And he's still just one of the few in WIAA history to four-peat.
There's the legend, Buddha.
Now he's passing it down to the new generation, including his son Blake.
Tough conditioning, tough practices, and making sure we do all the right things he preaches to us. It's not just wrestling. We got to get good sleep, take our vitamins, and stay healthy, and he preaches that, and, and he's got a bunch of confidence in every single one of our wrestlers here.
As a freshman, Blake took home the bronze in the state tournament, but now in his sophomore campaign, he's on pace for more, topping the podium at Saturday's regional meet. But for now, he's putting those personal accomplishments aside with a chance to create a legacy bigger than himself, leading the Red Raiders to their first ever team sectional.
Team sectionals tomorrow. We've been working hard, and we're just going to take it one match at a time.
We knew we were going to be able to compete, to win a conference championship and to make it to our first team sectional.
Being the first to hang a banner is a dream to Underwood.
You talking about is getting me the chills, because I know last year I was right there. It was one of my goals for sure, and team goals.
It's not the glitz, nor is it the glamour that gets the job done. It's the characters and the will to win. They'll face off against Cumberland Tuesday night, and if they get a W, that sets them up with a date with the winner of Shell Lake or the hometown foe, Stratford. And that's for a ticket to the state tournament. In Marathon, Austin Schindler, News 9 Sports.